Martijn Wismeijer.
Correct.
Of
yes.
the Bitcoin Embassy.
That's correct.
I presume. Where are you located?
We're located on Zeedijk in Amsterdam, which is on the edge of the red light district. The idea was to create a sort of association for professionals, a non-profit association, to get all the blockchain professionals together. It was quite a small scene, especially at first. So
when was this? How long ago?
In 2014. So
okay.
We started in 2014. And was also the year I started with the Bitcoin ATMs, and we had a Bitcoin ATM at that location, so it all made sense to have a sort of like workspace community where we can drink coffee, spend Bitcoins, and I don't know, just have geeky meetups, basically.
Mm-hmm. You installed a Bitcoin ATM here today as well?
Yeah, correct.
Do they get a lot of use?
Usually they do. It takes about 90 days before it gets known in the community, but this is exactly the same with regular ATMs. It takes about 90 days before you get any usage, but after the initial 90 days, generally usage picks up. It's an easy way to buy some Bitcoins, and some people are they rather not use their bank account for that because the account might be blocked, the bank might flag it, KYC, AML, find it a hassle, and if you just want a few Bitcoins, why not get them out of the ATM?
So you just put in your paper money?
Correct, you put in your paper money and you either charge it to your mobile phone or your chip implant, depending on the ATM model, whether it's compatible with NFC.
Okay.
So it's a good way to make the virtual currency or virtual technology like blockchain tokens, not just Bitcoin, but any blockchain token, a little less virtual. Because if you create with your colleagues, you create a nice coin. It's nice that you can send this coin to each other, but it's more fun to be able to cash out your company coin and get some cash out of it. The other way around. So yes, it's very exciting. We built everything on Android, so it's not...
All right. Today is about developers. It's the technology deep dive. Were you ever a developer?
Yes, I used to be, but I'm over 40 now. I think if you're still developing and just developer, okay, no, I don't think that's just my thing. When I was developing, we were programming in Fortran, Visual everything. Now nobody uses Microsoft products anymore, but Visual Basic, and at the time we used Perl. PHP I still do because that's like your universal scripting language. But programmers nowadays, they use Node, they use all these Java stacks, they use all the Go languages, different technologies, and I think it's, for me, I'd better leave programming to the younger generation.
Okay, and they work, for instance, on Android?
Correct, we do everything on Android, primarily because it's open. If we build kiosk applications like the ATM, you always, or practically always, need a touchscreen and a good keyboard. You need a connection for Wi-Fi, but those basics are all in the Android stack. So it's a lot easier to just use an Android stack. We use our own custom hardware. We made our own Android board with extra hardware on there to interface to the peripherals like card reader, fingerprint scanners, and all those stuff. So by doing that, we created sort of like basic Lego blocks which we can use to make Bitcoin applications.
And this is you, or is this the community doing the work?
It's a company I work for, the General Bytes at the Bitcoin Embassy. We primarily have meetups where we talk about new technology, and we generally don't do anything commercial because we're a non-profit and we're not supposed to make any profit.
So about the Bitcoin Embassy, well, it's called Bitcoin Embassy. Are you open for other cryptocurrencies?
Oh yes, that was because we were one of the first, before the blockchain craze, it was Bitcoin, just Bitcoin. So, but we're actually open to any blockchain-based technology. For example, we had made safe for storage meetups, where basically blockchain is being used as distributed storage. We had the Big Nation hackathon where we where we work on identity and identity management, basically in building a nationless state on a blockchain. And basically, if it's got something to do with blockchain, we probably already had it as a speaker or as a subject on a meetup.
How big is your community?
We currently have now just under 400 professional members. This does not just include members from the Netherlands, people from everywhere. So even though we call Bitcoin Embassy.nl, we actually, everybody's welcome.
Do you have to come to Amsterdam to take part?
No, not at all, not at all. We have members from all over the world, and some of them only visit at once. Others, they prefer just to stay in touch online, but if they've done anything in crypto scene, whether it's blockchain or Bitcoin, doesn't really matter, then they deserve a membership, yes. And really like to talk to them because, they're just curious minds.
Okay. One last question.
Yep.
What is your, how many guys and how many girls do you have in your community?
Oh, that's a good question actually, because what we see in the Netherlands is that over roughly say 90% of all the crypto enthusiasts are men. The General Bytes itself, the R&D is done in Prague, and there's Parallelnipolis there, which is a sort of hacker space, blending blockchain technology with 3D printing and artists. And what we see there is roughly 50-50 men and women. So it does depend. It does depend on the location, what type of people are attracted to, but in general, I would say primarily male, yes. I don't know why, it's crypto, I don't know, maybe it scares people off, or maybe it's just not very sexy subject, or maybe it's really just for nerds, I don't know. We like the crypto, we welcome all ladies, we even have a Bitcoin for Ladies group, which is actually blockchain for ladies. But there are just not that many blockchain enthusiasts, ladies-wise, in the Netherlands. I think this is global, because if I look at the statistics for example, Bitcoin Embassy, but also for General Bytes, which has far more traffic, both say, according to Google, say that roughly 80 to 90% is men. So even if there are many crypto enthusiasts, women in Prague, we don't see them back on our website.
Is it hard to start working on anything with the blockchain?
Oh no, it's fantastic. I started it because it's actually quite easy. You don't have to ask anyone for permission. Anything you want to know or need to know is online and available for free. You might want to start with a cloud server somewhere, but you can get those for $10 a month. So a laptop, $10 per month, and a curious mind is basically all you need to get started.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.